peacemaking is in crisis.
Many of the attacks have been attributed to the Islamic State.
Shocking scenes of desperation and chaos in Afghanistan.
Yemen's conflict has created a humanitarian crisis.
Political divides are contributing to global insecurity, triggering new conflicts and making it increasingly difficult to end old ones.
They are very scared. They think it's going to start again.
Peace. What is peace? Peace is something we could argue most people strive for not only personally, but on an international scale. Negative peace can be seen as either a freedom from disturbance or conflict, while positive peace is a lasting cohesion and functioning within society due to collective investments.
My name is Peter Herby. I've worked pretty much my whole life in some area related to peace and conflict and social justice issues.
After growing up in Vienna, Virginia during the civil rights movement, my father, Peter Herby, was inspired by pacifists such as Martin Luther King and Robert Kennedy, who rose up to stop conflict, notably the Vietnam War. He decided to dedicate his life to defending the specific human right for people to live and feel secure.
Yeah, I think for me, peace is okay at very many different levels. A combination of well-being, health, balance, not only an absence of war, but a level of cooperation and harmony and a common purpose that people are putting their energy into creating a better world and not into fighting, competition.
He started off working for an international peace organization called the Fellowship of Reconciliation during the height of the anti-nuclear movement in Europe during the 1980s. He later worked for the Quaker United Nations office in Geneva. Soon after, for nearly 20 years, he worked for the International Committee of the Red Cross as the head of a unit responsible for all issues relating to weapons and protection of civilians from particular weapons such as landmines, cluster munitions, and even chemical or biological weapons. He negotiated about 5 treaties, such as the prohibition of anti-personnel landmines and the prohibition of cluster munitions adopted in 2008.
The reality that I discovered in working there and discussing with military from all over the world and governments is that, we at the Red Cross knew more about what weapons did to people than many militaries. They knew what the weapons were designed for and why they used them, but they didn't always understand what happened after they used them, what happened to the people.
Because peace is such a central part of not only my dad's life, but also Quakerism, we asked him, with Quakerism being one of the main promoters of peace, how does society create peace and why is it so important?
So I grew up during the Vietnam War and all kind of horrors being committed. I just knew that Quakers were one of those organizations that was demonstrating and organizing in the United States against this horrific war.
At George School, a Quaker school in Newtown, Pennsylvania, we students are taking small steps every day to create a well-functioning community with peace at its core. We strive to improve the structure of our society and aspire to head towards positive peace instead of simply negative peace. For example, bake sales to support refugees, climate and gun violence protests are things we try to do regularly to achieve these goals.
The fact that they've consistently refused to fight, they have found alternatives, they've tried to mediate conflicts, stop conflicts, and they've refused to kill is pretty much what's unique about Quakers, I would say.
RFK believed that the presence of nuclear weapons anywhere was a threat to positive peace everywhere. As my dad says, violence starts in the mind. The way to peace, even as someone who doesn't work in a humanitarian field, is to build small-scale positive relationships and communities.
A core part of the solution is people learning how to negotiate, how to find solutions that may be difficult to negotiate, in time-consuming and patient is required. But yeah, violence is something that begins in the minds of people, and I think that the sooner people realize that's a dead end, the better.